Welcome to Creating Space. I want to dedicate this episode solely to God because who would I be without Him and where would I be? 372 days ago, I was on a plane flying from Korea back to stateside after being there for 2 years. The entire 2 years of being in Korea, I was a mess. I was a mess. I was a mess. Oh my God. And this is why this episode today is dedicated solely to God because He has done such change and shift in my life, and I am truly grateful. And so I want to make sure I give Him the highest praise and the right and proper acknowledgement because I know that I didn't do this myself. I returned September the 23rd, 2023, back stateside, severely depressed, anxiety out the roof. I could barely drive myself anywhere without having like an hour pep talk because I was so worried that something was going to happen to me. Not only was I depressed and dealing with severe anxiety, I also, over the last 2 years, was contemplating suicide. I had given up so many times. Christmas Day, 2023, I spent it in the hospital because my blood pressure was 184 over 121. And honestly, I was still trying to push through with my tough girl. I got this, whatever, family in town. It took my dad to be like, baby, that bottom number gonna take you out. That bottom number gonna people. I went downstairs to my stepmom and I said, hey, take me to the hospital. I think I'm about to die for real this time. Oh my God. Let me tell you one thing though. This is why this episode is dedicated to God because although I've been back for a year, I didn't become this intentional until 9 months ago. Actually, 9 months and 29 days. I've been being intentional and including God a part of my everyday life. That day, I told God, I was like, listen, the whole world can have my story. If you just clean me up and get me right. Clean me up and get me right and let me make it through this. And I'll be honest, I'm still working through this. I'm still trying to get through this. I face challenges. Some things try to creep back in. But the truth of the matter is, including God in my daily routine, when those events happen, when anxiety try to slip in, when depression try to slip in, when the enemy try to slip in, because that's what it is, baby, I be like, faith of a mustard seed can tell a sycamore tree to move, baby. You got to go. Get up out of here. Get up off of me. You know what I mean? I come out of agreement with all those things. And so I take the time to share all of this with you guys and give God the highest praise because Lord knows I don't know where I would have been because everything that I was dealing with was mental. Oh, everything that I was dealing with was mental. I don't know what God has planned for me, but whatever it is, the enemy knew the only way he could take me out is by making me take myself out. And baby, I was this close because I was fed up. I was fed up. I was fed up with heartbreak. I was fed up with death. I was fed up with disappointment. I was fed up with being lost. I was fed up with hardship. I was fed up, but God, but God sent me to a different country. Let me act like I had it all figured out. Let me act like I was tough. God let me for 2 years do it my way. And when I returned, He made sure I never wanted to go back because, baby, I don't. I don't know how I'm here, to be honest. So I know it's by the grace of God. I was brought into this world by two teenagers. I lost my mom at 16. I bounced house to house. I lost my brother. I've dealt with mental struggles, depression, anxiety, you name it. Physical abuse. I have been homeless. Um, I've even slept in a car. I don't want to be dramatic. A night, okay? I slept in a car a night because I couldn't find anywhere to stay, or I didn't feel like I had anyone I could call on without them judging me, or I don't know, talking about me. You know that's a thing. That's the thing. Even if we have people, sometimes we'll choose not to utilize them because we know they're going to talk about us. Okay. So we'll do things like sleep in the car during the winter with a car with no heat. I just want to add to it. Okay. Y'all, this man came and knocked on the door. I was in the back seat with cover. I jumped up and, oh, God, I put that car in drive. I was sleeping behind this restaurant. I can't remember this KFC or Taco Bell, but baby, I put that car in drive when that man knocked on that window and I took out. Okay. I took out, baby. I humbled myself. I humbled myself and went to one of my family members' house. It was only like a few more hours left before the sun was up. And I was just trying to make my way back to South Carolina. I'm just so full to know what God has done for me this far and just taking the time to really acknowledge what He's brought me from. Where you started, it really is true. Like, don't be discouraged. I would have never known the person who was bouncing from house to house, the person who was being judged and criticized and talked about like a dog. I, baby, I don't know how I'm here. There's so many labels, so many things the enemy had encouraged people to speak on my life that God never let come to pass. Covered me every time. Even when I couldn't see it, even when I didn't appreciate him, even when I thought he turned his back on me, God was doing something. The child who bounced around, who had nowhere to go, God created a home for me and him. I am a homeowner of a 5-bedroom house. Just me and God. I walk through here praising God every day for a peace of mind that I thought I would never get. When I came back in September, I remember telling my best friend, like, yo, I think I'm going to lose my mind. I think by the time I come back, I'm gonna be schizophrenic because I can't cipher what's this and what's that, what's good and what's bad, what's true and what's not. But God, in this year, you guys, in this year, let me just say, God has allowed me to see being intentional in Him what it looks like. Not only am I not struggling with anxiety and depression, okay, delivered, redeemed, restored, I have also lived to see an age that 2 generations didn't. Okay, baby, I'm a curse breaker, and God let me see it. I am here now with a different feeling, with a different mindset, with a different praise. I didn't get on this road with God because it was like because I just felt like I don't know. Once I realized how disrespectful I was to God, I was just like, oh my God, like it was hard for me to even process, to even honestly have confidence. Like, you still got me, you sure? So I don't know, y'all. Just get in your word, get your own relationship with God, because if you are battling with anything like depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, maybe that's a spiritual attack. The enemy is trying to take you out, okay? And he's not playing with you. He wants you. He's trying to take you out, baby. And if you want to fight back, you're gonna need the word of God. When he be calling on me, I be like, "What's up? What's up?" Because I got the word now. And he got me messed up. Like if you are a child of God, if you are a believer that Jesus Christ died on the cross for you, if you are a believer that God is all knowing and responsible for you, and the reason why you're here today, spend more time with Him, because there may be a lot of things that you are going through, and just not knowing that is you, because the world has watered down so much, or we are all leaning on our spiritual journey and our religion based on what we've heard. We're not going to read it ourselves. A lot of things that we are doing that is like disrespectful, unacceptable. But because we haven't read it ourselves, we're not familiar that we're like constantly in a cycle of sin. And the truth about it is, you reap what you sow. So even like I don't know how to put it, but all I'm saying is I didn't get here because I was just like Jesus, 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 you know? Anyways, y'all, forgive me if it was all over. Forgive me if I was just too hyped. But the truth of the matter is, I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful that God found me worthy. If you look at your story and it don't make sense for you to be where you are, baby, it sounds like you experienced God. Show up for him. He showed up for you. You know what I mean? That's we be getting our feelings about people physically doing that to us. You know, show up for God. He showed up for you. Is that too much to ask? That's what we be saying, right? Is that too much to ask? Mm. Until next time.